Good morning, children. Welcome to Andhra Pradesh Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan online classes conducted by Andhra Pradesh Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. This is Pravina working as Social Studies CRT at KGBV Garvidi, Vizianagaram district. So, how are you, children? I hope all are you safe and healthy at your home. In this pandemic situation, you are all carefully stay at your home and stay safe. Okay, let us come to our topic. Today we discuss about the lesson money and banking. Money and banking in our 8th class textbook. So, see this topic, children, money and banking. In this money and banking lesson, we learn about so many things. What things we discuss about in this lesson? In this lesson, we discuss about evolution of money, how money was evolved, and how money recently evolved. Before evolution of money, how the trading was done, how the people used and what they used. What is banking? What banks do? What are the activities of banking? All these topics are discussed in this lesson. Now go to our lesson. First, we discussed about the barter system. Discussed about the barter system or trading without money. What is barter system? Children, did you know what is barter system? In our olden days, there is no money. In our olden days, there is no money. Can we do trading without money? No, it is not possible. But once upon a time, when there was no money, when there was no paper currency, when there was no coins, then the people, they did the trading without money. The people, they did the trading without money. It is called the barter system. So, what is barter system? Barter system is nothing but exchanging of goods. Exchanging of goods. In olden days, there was no medium of exchange. So, what is barter system? Exchanging of goods directly against each other without the use of money. Exchanging of goods directly against each other without the use of money. It is called the barter system or trading without money. Trading without money. In our olden days, there was no medium of money, there was no coins, there was no medium of paper currency. There was no medium of paper currency. There was a barter system. There was a barter system. They used the exchange only goods. They used the barter system. They used exchange goods. Still now, the barter system is continuing in some states in our India. For example, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, and in our state also the barter system is continued. For example, I think you are also exchanging your hair. You are also exchanging your hair with rubber bands or hairpins or like that. Is correct, children? Yes. You keep your hair and you exchange with hair with rubber bands or some vessels. So, I tell another example for this barter system. Still, barter system is continue in our India and in our state. In our state, like Srikakulam is used the barter system in some villages. For example, see children, in some villages of Srikakulam district, children exchange toys made from bamboo in exchange for rice. Children exchange toys made from bamboo. The toys made from bamboo they exchange with rice. They give rice and take toys made by bamboo. Here money is used? No. Here the money is not used. They exchange only goods with goods. Goods with goods. Here the another example we see. The blacksmith used to mend the blades of ploughs or wheels of a bullock cart not for a cash but for a fixed amount of grain after every harvest. The blacksmith used to mend blades. They made blades or ploughs or bullock carts for agriculture operations for farmers. As they made the bullock carts, they want a fixed amount of grain for after every harvest. So they exchange their bullock cart or plough with the harvest or rice or grains. There is a traditional rate of how much should be given for each plough or cart owned by the farmer. So this is one example of the barter system in our district. Let us discuss another example of the barter system. Ramaya has some rice but he wants potatoes. Ramaya has some rice but he wants potatoes. So he goes to Veeraya who grows to potatoes. Ramaya goes to Veeraya who grows to potatoes. Veeraya wants rice. Veeraya wants rice. He grows potatoes, he wants rice. And he is willing to exchange potatoes for rice. So Veeraya also willing to exchange his potatoes with rice from Ramaya. So the two exchange their goods and both are satisfied. Here both are satisfied because Ramaya want potatoes, Veeraya want rice. So both are exchange their goods with potatoes and rice. So both are satisfied. In this situation, barter system is successful. But in some situations, the barter system is not successful. It is not successful. In a barter system, goods are directly exchanged for each other without the use of money. So that there is so much of problems. Here we see another example. What is the problems? What is the problems occurred by the barter system? See children, here another example. Gopal has a goat and he wants to exchange it for rice. Gopal has a goat. He wants rice. So he goes to Sinu. For rice. So Sinu wants a goat. Sinu also wants a goat. But he has a jower. But he produces jower. He has no rice. Gopal wants rice. So he goes to Sinu. But Sinu wants a goat. But he has no rice. He has a jower. So what problem here? Gopal meets Ramu who produces rice. So Gopal search for another person. Who produces rice. So Gopal search for another person. He meet to Ramu who produces the rice. But Ramu does not want to exchange his rice with the goat. He does not want to exchange his rice with goat. So Ramu does not want goat. Gopal wants rice. Gopal has a goat. But Ramu does not want a goat. What Ramu wants? He wants jowar. He wants jowar. Ramu wants jowar. So, will you observe? So, what will happen here? Gopal buy jowar from Ramu, and Gopal buy jowar from Sinu, and he gives to Ramu, and he take rice from Gopal. Understand, children? Are you understand? Gopal wants rice. Sinu wants goat. Ramu wants jowar. But what will happen here? Gopal meets Ramu. He wants jowar but not goat. So Gopal buy jowar from Ramu, and he gives jowar to Sinu, and take rice from Sinu, and he gives his goat to Sinu, and he take jowar from Sinu and gives to Ramu, and take rice from Ramu. Children, see this, how much situation is happened here. There is so much time waste. There is so much time waste, lot of time waste. So it is not convenient. It is not convenient. We search for people for goods, and we take all our produces to take to Samta or elsewhere. So it is not convenient. It is not convenient. For better understanding, I will explain in a table. See, children. Children, for your better understanding, I give you a table. Gopal, Sinu and Ramu. Gopal wishes to buy rice. Sinu wishes to buy goat. Ramu wishes to buy jowar. But Gopal wishes to sell goat. Sinu wishes to sell jowar. Ramu wishes to sell rice. So these three persons meet. These three persons meet one place and talk one to another persons, and complete their trading and change their goods with goods. And change their goods with goods. Here money is used? No, here no money is used. So the inconvenience of this barter system, so many people wants to evolve the money. So many people search for evolving the money. With the use of money, we can't wait for another person. We can't wait for another item. We have a money. We take that money and we give the money what we want. And you take that item. Understand, children? If you have money, you take the money and give the person who sell that item, and you take that item. Here is no problem. So how the money was evolved, how we exchange the goods with money, now we discuss in this lesson. So exchange with the money. We learn about exchange with the money. So let us discuss about this. Money has so many profits. So what profits, what are the uses or what are the characteristics of the money. Let us we discuss about this. So what are the characteristics of the money? What are the characteristics of the money? If we use money, there will be no problem in exchanging commodities. It is then not necessary that a person who has something in excess finds another person. Already I tell you, if we have a money, we have something in excess finds another person who needs it and has something what he wants. So money acts as an intermediary or in between step, something that is helpful sometimes because it can be used further. Once if we used and after sometimes we also used again and again. So this is the money. So let us we discuss about what are the characteristics of the money. Money is durable. It means we use this money again and again. We kept this money, we use this money again and again. So it is also kept for future use. We keep this money in our banks or in our almaras, and later we use this money for our future use for education or any other functions or elsewhere. And it is a medium of exchange. With the use of this money, we exchange anything. With the money. Next, issued legal tender money. What is legal tender money? It means it is acceptable by all. Next, unit of account. It is a unit of account. It means it can be divided. We divided this money. In basket system, we divided these goods. For example, we divided the goat in piece. No. But the money is divisible. For example, a 500 note. We have a 500 note. It is divisible. It is divided by 50, 100 rupees, 50, 10 rupees notes or 500 rupees notes. So these are the characteristics of the money. Let us we discuss about what is the evolution of forms of money. What is the evolution of forms of money? How money was evolved? So the money has been evolved. Why money have been evolved? Because the problems of barter system. Money was evolved, all the problems settled. After the money was evolved, all the problems were settled. So after evolved the money, all the problems were settled. The money has been evolved. Why money has been evolved? Because of problems of barter system, money was evolved, all the problems were settled. When the trading was increased, transportation also increased among countries. The trading was increased. Transportation also increased. So, when the transportation is increased, they go to long distance. To another countries or another states. So, they go to another countries like this. They go to another countries like cars or like ships. Whenever their there were transportation. Whenever they goes to one place to another place, those time the people were actually used cattle and grains as money. The people were actually used cattle and grains as their money. They have no money, so they used only cattle and grains as their money. So they take all their grains, all their cattle with them. They take all their grains and all their cattle with them. So, but they were difficult to carry. It is difficult to carry or not? It is difficult to carry. So, it is difficult to transportation also. It is difficult to transport. So, money is a better option to them. Money is the better option. So, after that, what they think, instead of cattle and grains, it is better to use valuable metals for medium of exchange. After these problems, they think money is the or metals are the better use for medium of exchange. So what are the valuable metals? Do you know, children, what are the valuable metals? Yes, you already know. Gold, silver, bronze, copper. These are all the valuable metals. These are the metals. So copper, bronze, silver and gold are durable. Gold are the durable. And it can be divided into parts and be carried around. We divided these metals and we can easily carry these metals. Since they were scarce, they became acceptable by all. So people could buy and sell with the assurance that the money they had in hand would be valuable and sought by others. They have to worry that their money might lose value, as could happen with grains or cattle. However, some problems remained and new problems came up. Here some problems are solved, but new problems are arrived. What are the new problems are arrived here? For every exchange, the metal had to be weighed, and later on traders were not sure about the quality of the metal. One problem is solved, but another problem is arranged. What is the another problem? The another problem is the purity of the metal. The purity of the metal and weight of the metal. Purity of the metal and weight of the metal. For every exchanging with metal, the traders suspicious to each other. For what? The weight and quality. Weight and quality and purity of the metal. So what one might get in exchange may not be pure or gold or silver. After some time, there was a serious problem of trust in the quality of metal that was used as money for exchange. After some time, there was a serious problem for trusting the quality of metal. They have no trust in metals. So they want to use money. On that time, on that situation, they want to search for money. So to solve these problems, the kingdoms were come up and established royal mint. To solve these problems, to solve these quality and size, the kingdoms were come up with some solution. What is that solution? The solution is they established the royal mint. What is royal mint? Royal mint means manufactured the coins. Here coins are manufactured or printed. So what is the use of this royal mint? In this royal mint, the minting coins of standard size, standard weight and purity. So all the coins were same size. and same weight and same quality. So there is no problem. So every trading, the traders does not weight the coins or does not suspicious suspicious each other. These are quality metals, good metals or bad metals. So Royal Mint solved these problems. It printed the same size, same weight and purity metals. So some kings use the metals. Some kings gold metal used the gold metals and some kings used silver metals. In our country, Romans used the metal besant. Used the metal besant. It is a gold coin. They used the metals by gold. It is a gold coin. Roman used the besant. Roman used the coins besant. It is a gold coin. See children, these are the gold coins. These are the gold coins. Besant. Besant used by the Romans. Used by Romans. Another example, Mauryans. Mauryans used the pana. Used the metal pana. It is a silver coin. It is a silver coin. So see children, this is the pana used by Mauryans. Used by the Mauryans. It is a silver metal. This metal is used by the Mauryans and named pana. And Satavahanas. In Satavahana period, the kings used Halesika coins. Kings used the Halesika coins. These all coins were used by the old kingdoms. So let us we will discuss about the paper money and emergence of banks. How paper money was evolved and how banks were emerged. People who had to buy and sell in a large quantities had to carry a large amounts of gold or silver coins. When they go to trading, they take a large quantities of the large amounts of gold and silver coins of their transactions. So they started looking for safe places to keep them. So gold and silver is heavyweight. I think all of you know these are high weight. So they started looking for safe place. They started looking for safe place. Which place is better to keep this gold and silver? So they went to goldsmiths. They went to goldsmith who made these metals gold and silver, where their money would be protected. So the goldsmiths making them available. The goldsmiths charged fees for keeping their valuables safe and making them available whenever they wanted. So goldsmiths charged fee. So they keep the gold and silver safe. So they charged fees. They want some fee for keep these items safe. So this practice became popular and the trust in some of the goldsmith or shops grew. All these traders trusted these goldsmiths because whenever the traders want, the goldsmiths give their coins to traders. So it is very happy. All the items, all the coins, they didn't take to another place. So it is very happy. So the goldsmiths and shops grew. This goldsmith would also give loans and had branches in many cities, leading to a new system of paper money or hundis. So the goldsmith started to give loans. All the gold coins kept in their place. So let us example, all we know, banks are we deposited our money in bank. So what banks do? They kept our money and give interest to us. So we kept the money. What banks do all this money? So it gives loans. How bank give interest for us? So first it give loans to traders or businessmen or education purpose. It gives loans and collect interest. Like that, on that time, the goldsmiths give loans and branches many cities, leading to new system of paper money or hundis. Here goldsmiths take gold coins or silver coins and they give receipt to the customer who deposited the money. They give the receipt to that person. So here like a banks, the goldsmiths also branches and they give paper money or hundis. This paper money is also called hundi. So here some example you observe and understanding. Somu is a machinery tools merchant of Vijayawada. Somu is a machinery tools merchant of Vijayawada. He has to go to Hyderabad to buy machines from Chandu. He is a machinery merchant. He wants some machinery items like iron, nuts, bolts, like this. So he go to Hyderabad to buy the machinery from Chandu. So it is dangerous to carry gold coins for payment all the way to Hyderabad. Already we know it is very dangerous because so many thefts are there. So many thefts are there. So what will happen? So he keep his 10 gold coins with the goldsmith. He decided, I keep my 10 gold coins with the goldsmith, and takes a receipt issued in his name. Already we told us, goldsmith received gold coins and they give one receipt. So the receipt would say, I promises to pay 10 gold coins. I promises to pay 10 coins. Whenever you want, I give 10 gold coins. I give you 10 gold coins. Now Somu buys the machines from Chandu. He goes to Hyderabad and buy machines from Chandu. He gives the goldsmith's receipt to Chandu. He take one receipt from goldsmith. So thus receipt gives to Chandu and tells him to collect the 10 gold coins from the goldsmith as a payment. Already we discussed. Goldsmiths have so many branches. So what will happen here? Chandu knows that he can go any time to collect the 10 gold coins from the goldsmith who has an office at Hyderabad also. Chandu also know. Whenever he go, he collect his 10 gold coins from the Hyderabad branch. He does not go to collect the money, but instead he goes to say Sayyid, who sells iron and steel, and gives him Somu's receipt for 10 gold coins in exchange for steel. But he does not give the money also. What he do? By take this receipt, he goes to the Sayyid. For the made of these machines, what he want? He want iron and steel. So he goes to the Sayyid and buy the steel and iron and give the Somu's receipt for the 10 gold coins. He tells Sayyid that he can collect the gold from that same goldsmith. He also said, Chandu also said to Saeed, you collect to these 10 gold coins from the goldsmith. Since the goldsmith is known to all and is trusted for always paying the receipts that are brought to him. Also, Saeed also know that he give the receipt, then the goldsmith give his 10 gold coins. So Saeed accept the receipt easily. Somu's original receipt has now circulated in the economy and the being transferred from one person to another, and all accept this as a means of payment. Here all are accepted this receipt, accepted this paper money. Because of the trust created, such receipts began to work. Because of the trust. What is important here? Trust is important here. Here trust in goldsmiths. So, like this, the goldsmiths are grew. Already we discussed the goldsmiths are grew. The goldsmiths a lot of money they fetched, a lot of money they. So like this, they earn a lot of money and they enjoyed the wealth. So these are the early bankers in India. Jagat Seth in Bengal, Shahs in Patna, Arunji Nathji in Surat, Chettiars in Madras. These are all well bankers. So these people, they do business and give loans and save money and give interest money who are deposited there. Because of this activity or business, they got a lot of wealth. They are become very popular. Because of their business. So there are also branches in other countries also. So here a story for the emergence of banks. See, paper money and emergence of banks. In 1606, Amsterdam was a major trading center in Europe. Do you know, children? Where is Amsterdam? Which capital is Amsterdam? Yes, Netherlands capital is Amsterdam. Netherlands is also called Holland and Dutch. It is also called Holland and Dutch. So it is in Europe. Here there were 846 silver and gold coins. In Amsterdam, there were 846 silver and gold coins recognized by the government that could be accepted for exchange. These 846 silver coins accepted by the government. Traders were always suspicious of each other. Everyone would doubt the purity and weight of these coins. But traders were always suspicious to each other. The banks or these branches give our pure metals or give pure weight coins. So everyone would doubt the purity and weight of the coins. The merchants of Amsterdam got together and solved this problem in a unique manner. To solve this problem, all these merchants of Amsterdam together meet and solve this problem. How they solved this problem? They created a bank owned by the city. They created a bank. They discussed together and they finally discussed they want to create a bank. So a merchant would take his coins and the bank would weigh and find out the amount of pure metal and give him receipt for his and open an account. The merchant would take his coins. When you give the coins to the merchant, the bank weight how much weight these coins and what is the purity of the coins. He wrote down the receipt. He wrote down in this receipt and give to the customer. So when and open an account in his name. Open an account in his name. Whenever required, he could ask for the pure metal, and he also gave a promise to the customer. What promise they give? So whenever he want, he could give the metal. So he could also transfer some of this to another person. If he want, he also give to the another person in transfer. He also give. So if you want to transfer this money to another person, you don't want to receive your money, but you want to transfer to another person. So you ask to the merchant to transfer your coins to the another person. Then the bank transfer the coins to the another person if required. This was convenient for traders. So it is very useful to the traders. The bank operated honestly and it was trusted by the all traders. So the bank operated honestly. Here is important is honesty. So they would ask for receipts of the bank and or a transfer to their account. They would ask for the receipts of the bank or a transfer to their bank. The banks give the receipts or transfer to the another account instead of the coins. The traders knew that the bank would on demand give them pure metal. So the traders knew that the bank would on demand give them pure metal. Already you take a receipt, how much quality is there and how much purity of the metal. So the bank also give the purity of metal. So the traders are trusted for the banks. Trusted on the banks. So deposits at the bank became a new forms of money. These deposits are the new forms of money. The business of the bank grew and it would work successfully for 2 centuries. The business of the bank grew and it worked successfully. Like this business, this trusteeship of this business worked successfully 2 centuries. So the operation of bank deposits as money had evolved. Like this, the operation of bank deposits as a money. You deposit your money in the bank, it is a money. The deposits are also called a money. Like this, the money was evolved. So this is our lesson, children. This is our lesson, money and banking. So in this lesson I discuss about what is the barter system and how money was evolved, what are the characteristics of money, how banks were emerged. I think all of you understand my lesson, children. Now I will ask some questions to you. Please answer these questions and write these questions in your notebook and send your WhatsApp groups. Write the answers and send your WhatsApp groups. Children, see this first question and write the answer. The system of exchanging goods directly against other goods without the use of money is called. I repeat once again. The system of exchanging goods directly against other goods without the use of money is called. Tell me the answer, children. Yes, it is barter system. The answer is barter system. Second question. The washerman, barbers, needi kavati karu were paid in dash for their work in villages in earlier days. Repeat again. The washerman, barbers, needi kavali varu were paid in dash for their work in villages in early days. The answer is food grains. Answer is food grains. Third question. Which of the following statements are correct about money? Which of the following statements are correct about money? It is a medium of exchange. It is acceptable to all. It acts as a measure of value of the goods and services. All the above. It is a medium of exchange. It is acceptable to all. It acts as a measure of value of the goods and services. All the above. So the answer is all the above. In the Roman period, dash a gold coin was the standard currency. The Roman period, dash a gold coin was the standard currency. Pound, Bisant, shilling, Pana. The answer is Bisant. Answer is Bisant. Fifth question. The advantage of using money is. The advantage of using money is. It is divisible and durable. It does not require much space to keep. It is portable. All the above. It is divisible and durable. It does not require much space to keep. It is portable. All the above. So the answer is all the above. Sixth question. In the Mauryan period, dash a silver coin was the standard currency. In the Mauryan period, dash a silver coin was the standard currency. Pana, Bisant, shilling, pound. The answer is Pana. Seventh question. Why were metals preferred for use as money? Why were metals preferred for use as money? They were durable. They could be divided into parts and be carried around. They were scarce. All the above. The answer is all the above. Eighth question. Match the following early bankers of India. Jagat Seth, Shahs, Aurangzeb, Chettiars. Children, match these following bankers. Jagat Seth, Bengal. Shahs, Patna. Aurangzeb, Surat. Chettiars, Madras. So the answer is B. Answer is B. Ninth question. The receipts of repeated goldsmiths of paper money were called. The receipts of repeated goldsmiths or paper money were called debt money, treasuries, hundis, bonds. So the answer is hundis. Last question. The merchants of dash solved the problem of doubt in the purity and weight of the gold and silver coins by creating a bank owned by the city in 1606. The merchant of dash solved the problem of doubt in the purity and weight of the gold and silver coins by the creating a bank owned by the city in 1606. Amsterdam, Berlin, Paris, London. So the answer is Amsterdam. So these are the 10 questions, children. You answer these all questions and send your school WhatsApp groups. So thank you, children. Thank you. Thank you for giving this opportunity to the Andhra Pradesh Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Thank you.